How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to your Newcastle United versus PSG match preview. Wow, that feels very weird. That feels very, very weird to say. Newcastle United versus PSG match preview. Welcome, everybody, for the preview for Newcastle United's first Champions League game at home for about 20 years now, since 2003. It's been a mad one, but we're finally back in the big time at St James's Park. Guys, if you are new and you do like what you see, please make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button. It's going to be massive this game tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely massive. I am here to take you through my predicted 11, my predicted score, thoughts going into the match, and also injury news and team news, stuff like that. And also, we may touch on what Eddie Howe has to say to the media today ahead of the big clash tomorrow at St James's Park. Give me a second, everyone. I'm just going to put the chat live on my screen so I can see what everyone is saying. Because at the minute, I do not have it on. So then we just pop the chat on OBS so it's easier for me to look at the chat. So I have to keep turning my head all the time. Right, there we are. Right, the chat is on my screen now, so I can communicate with everyone right now. Right, Would-be Farmer. Cheers, shipmates, is Would-be Farmer. Yeah, Would-be Farmer. Not sure what you mean about that. Up the mags, says Thomas. Up the bags indeed. It's going to be a big game tomorrow. It's going to be a big game. Hi, Jax is Ian. Hello, Ian. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Apologies for moving the live over to 8:30. I was originally going to do the preview at 10. No, not 10. I was originally going to do the preview at 6, but I had to change it due to reasons. But look, it's fine. I don't mind 8:30. I don't mind 8:30 lives. It's not too bad. And I'm feeling a bit more awake. Evening, Jack. Only one night to go until St James's Park welcomes back Champions League. Indeed, Thomas, indeed. It's going to be absolutely mental. And also, guys, let me know your thoughts on this predicted 11. Of course, there's a lot of team news to get into. Good evening, Jackson JR. Evening, JR. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're having a good evening. So talk me through your predicted 11 in the live chat, everyone. Put your predicted score in the live chat as well if you do want to. I will put a poll up right now. Who you think is going to win this match? NUFC. It feels so weird putting PSG and Newcastle in the same bracket. It just feels a bit weird. But this is what's going to happen now. This is what's going to happen. Predictions high says this or that. We will get into my prediction and my predicted 11 later on in the show. We will get into that. But you guys can put your predictions down in the chat as well if you do want to. Because I'd love to hear your thoughts on the match tomorrow. Are you nervous? Are you excited? For me, I'm very, very excited, especially to bring the commentary to you lot as well. It's an absolute privilege to watch the match. To A, watch the match. B, provide it to you lot and give you a watch along to watch if you can't watch the match, or if you just want to watch the channel, if you're a fan of the channel. That's absolutely brilliant. It's going to be a privilege tomorrow night to present a show to all you lovely lot. It's going to be massive. So I hope you guys will enjoy it tomorrow. Right, well, without further ado, let's just get into to some of the team news then. Let's just get into some of the team news then, because I'm on Flash Score right now. Let's just get into some of the team news because there's some big news. So Barnes is obviously out due to his toe injury. He's obviously out. Botman is obviously out due to knee injury. Of course, this is obviously Eddie Howe was speaking to the media today and did talk about the injuries to some players. If you haven't heard him already, I will get the quotes up for everyone right now. I'm gonna try and get the quotes on a tab here so that you lot can see it. I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna try and do that. You know what? I'm gonna try and do it. But anyway, let's get into some of the quotes here. So this is Eddie Howe speaking to the media. So this is Eddie Howe speaking to the team news ahead of tomorrow. Callum Wilson, we think, won't make the game tomorrow. He's going to be close, but as it stands, he won't make the game. Jolinson is in a similar position where he's close, so we'll have to make a late check on him. Sven Botman is out and won't play. Sandro Tonali is fine. There was a lot of people saying Sandro Tonali, oh, he's not in training, Sandro Tonali, oh, he ain't playing, he's not playing. Well, it just goes to show Eddie Howe said that he's absolutely fine and he will feature tomorrow, no problem whatsoever. Callum Wilson, I don't think he'll make tomorrow. I really don't. It's better safe than sorry. PSG, probably once in a lifetime experience for some of these players as of now. We probably might play PSG all the time in the few years. But as of now, I think it's best off we keep Callum Wilson fit because we've got a lot of big games coming up this month. We've got a Carabao Cup match against Manchester United. We've got a lot of big names to play this month, and I know we've got a 2-week international break, but it's better off to be safe than sorry rather than just rushing back. And Callum Wilson, you can't rush him back because he's a massive player for us. Especially if he's got a hamstring problem as well. Do not rush him back whatsoever. But however, he was pictured in training, and Eddie Howe did say he is close. So he's probably that far away. But if Eddie Howe's got that doubt in his mind that Callum Wilson isn't that fit to even be on the bench, don't play him. Listen, don't play him because it's better safe than sorry. You know what they say. So that is the table as it stands for the Champions League. Newcastle in second in the table. Obviously, we're on 1 point. Dortmund lost to PSG, but PSG now they're a funny side. PSG they're a funny side because I know they play in League One. But you could say if they played in the Premier League, they'd probably smash the league up sideways. Maybe that's a debate. But PSG, if you do look at some of their fixtures in League One, they do tend to lose quite a few, to be fair, that you wouldn't have thought they did. I think they lost to Nice 3-2 the other day as well, and they drew to the worst side in the league. So PSG are this sort of side that, you expect them to win. They've got all these massive players, but really it's not that balanced. Really, it's a bit like a bit like a Manchester United. They buy all these big names: Højlund, Casemiro, Amrabat. At the minute, I'm watching the match right here. At the minute, they're playing Amrabat at left back. That is how unbalanced the squad is for Manchester United. That is how unbalanced it is. I think this PSG team isn't that balanced, to be fair, and this PSG team can be got at. It really can. But it all depends on what team we put out tomorrow, because we are not at full strength. I think if we were at full strength tomorrow, I think if we had Botman, if we had Wilson, if we had Joelinton, if we had all the Harvey Barnes, if we had all the players available tomorrow, I think this could be it could be a very good evening for Newcastle United. It could be a very good evening if we had all the players available. But as of now, we don't really have that many players available. I mean, look at that back five. Botman is nowhere to be seen, which is a big worry for Newcastle United and could be possibly out for a month. It's going to be difficult tomorrow. It's going to be difficult. And to be fair, PSG, they can be caught in the transition. Most of the goals they concede are from counter-attacks, and we are probably one of the best counter-attacking sides, one of the best in the league. So if we can catch them on the counter-attack, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. And Donnarumma, he's a shaky goalkeeper, Donnarumma. He's a shaky goalkeeper. What else can I say? He can be shaky at times. But that PSG team is to be got at. And if this Newcastle side, they'll be quite tired because that same squad has played quite a lot in the last few weeks. But that PSG team is to be got at. And I'm very excited going into tomorrow's game. And I hope you lot are as well. Might be a draw, Jax is in. Might be a draw or a win. I just don't want a loss, really, because that atmosphere will be amazing tomorrow. War Flags have got a lot planned tomorrow for the presentation before the match. It'll be massive. War Flags really putting something up tomorrow. I have no idea what it's going to be, but it looks amazing. The Champions League signs are all over St James's Park. That's amazing. Who would have thought a few years ago watching Steve Bruce? Who would have thought? That we'd be playing Champions League football against PSG on a Wednesday night? Who would have thought it? I think Mbappe is going to cause trouble to our back line. Says Thomas, he will indeed. I mean, Mbappe is going to play tomorrow. He is going to play. He has been training and pictured wanting gloves. Jesus Christ, mate, come on. It's not that cold. I don't live in Newcastle, obviously, but it's not that cold up in there in Newcastle. I mean, it is cold in the UK. I do get that from Mbappe's point of view. But come on, it's not that cold, Mbappe. Come on, mate. I'm going 2-1 to Ian. I'm going 1-0. I'm going 1-0 with a Isak goal. I think Isak will score. I'm going for a tight 1-0. And Mbappe is going to cause us problems tomorrow. He really, really is. Mbappe is going to cause us a lot of problems. But I can't wait for it because this is what we wanted. If you're a person like me or like a lot of Newcastle fans when we got into the Champions League, you wanted the likes of Real Madrid, the PSGs, the AC Milans, the Dortmunds. You wanted all these sides to come to St James's Park, and we've got our wish. We've got Dortmund to come, we've got AC Milan to come, and we've got PSG tomorrow. We've got our wish with all these massive teams coming to St James's Park, and this is what we wanted. And Mbappe, look, he might tear us a new one. Who knows? He might tear us a new one with his pace and his direct ability and his shooting. He might absolutely tear us a new one tomorrow, Mbappe. But that's what maybe I don't want him to tear us a new one. But maybe I want to see Mbappe at St James's Park, and maybe it might put a thought in his head, thinking, I might want to play for this team. I might want. This is a good atmosphere. But that's another key factor in tomorrow's game: the atmosphere. The atmosphere is going to be crucial, absolutely crucial. You've seen it in the past. I mean, in past cup semi-finals like last year against Southampton, you've seen it against Arsenal when we beat them 2-0 when Bruno and the own goal went in from Ben White. That atmosphere was crazy. The atmosphere really, really feeds on the players' performances, because when the players feed off the atmosphere, we perform. No matter how tired we are, no matter how fatigued we are, the players do react to the atmosphere, and the atmosphere tomorrow is going to be absolutely crucial in how we approach this game. No doubt Eddie Howe will have the players pumped up for this game, no doubt about it. No doubt the players will be pumped up about this. The players, St James's Park, Champions League, midweek, no travelling to this week. It's going to be absolutely huge. And to be fair, I know it's PSG. They've played in some brilliant atmospheres in the past because they've been in the Champions League for ages. I don't think PSG will know what's going to hit them when they come tomorrow. I don't think they'll know what hit them. Because we're the home side, we're going to have to attack first. We're going to have to fully go for it. We can't soak in the pressure. We've got to hit first. Because no doubt PSG, they're going to be better. They are going to be better because they've got a brilliant squad travelling with them. There's no doubt PSG are going to be good tomorrow. So I don't think we can soak up the pressure. We probably will towards the end of the match. But as with the home team, with the atmosphere as well, we're going to have to attack first. And we're going to have to close down very, very quick, and we've got to let PSG know in their minds what they've just walked into. They can't have an easy ride tomorrow. It can't be a walk in the park for PSG. It just can't. They have to know what hit them, and they have to know what's going to happen to them tomorrow night. Yeah. Nick Pope in the middle of our goals is Thomas. They got Mbappe with the coldest striker in the world, says Thomas. Depends how injury free he's going to be. I put Isak in the starting predicted 11 because I don't think Wilson will make the game, and it's going to be whether Isak is going to be fit enough to play. He's going to have to play, but it depends how fresh Isak's going to be. Have you seen the drone display? It was amazing. Of course I've seen the drone display, and of course I have. It's absolutely sensational. Apparently they can't do it on the match. Just before the match, apparently they can't. So it's very unfortunate in that way. But yeah, I've seen the drone display, and it's unbelievable. Do you ever travel to South Africa? Says Ashik. I haven't, Ashik. I haven't travelled to South Africa. I'd probably love to, but not as of now. I haven't, no. But I'd love to in the future. Right, without further ado, let's just get into some bit more injury news, everyone, about PSG and Newcastle United. So obviously the two questionable ones are Joelinton and Callum Wilson. We are going to make a late check on them two players tomorrow. If they both come out positive, they'll definitely both be on the bench. They won't be starting at all because Joelinton, they both look like they've got problems to the hamstring. So if Joelinton and Wilson do make the match, they will certainly be on the bench. I meant Isak, Jack, when I said we have the coldest striker in the world. Oh, I know, Thomas. I know you meant Isak. Right, so the player's out. Is Bruno injured, to Sheik? He's not. Bruno is absolutely fine. Right, so the injured players who are definitely going to be out for tomorrow's game. Marco Asensio, Kimpembe, Nuno Mendes, and Rico are going to be out for PSG. But the questionable one is Navas, who I have seen. If you don't watch the Magpie Channel TV, go and subscribe to them. Go and subscribe to Matty. He's a brilliant channel. If you have not seen his video, he was pictured getting signatures from Mbappe, Navas, Donnarumma. So Navas is in the travelling squad. So he is there. But obviously Donnarumma is going to play that game. Of course he is. But he is there. So I'm not too sure about Navas being out there. So pretty much they've got quite a decent injury thing. We haven't. We haven't though. That's the thing, and we're gonna have a lot of play. We're gonna have a lot of players tomorrow who are going to be fatigued because Burnley. Yes, it's Burnley, but it was quite a tough game. It was. We only just we needed to score a penalty, but luckily we got a banger from Miggy. Murphy could be starting this game as well. Who knows? I'm so excited, says James. Mate, you're not the only one. You're not the only one, mate, James. You're not the only one who's very, very excited for this game. I'm pretty sure the whole Newcastle United fans in the world are so excited for this game. It's going to be unbelievable. Right, let's get into my predicted 11, everyone. Why not? Let's just jump into it. So I've got Nick Pope in goal, of course, because Dubravka isn't going to play unless Nick Pope is injured, and Nick Pope isn't injured. So Nick Pope should play. Fabian Schär on the cells. Obviously, Botman is out. He could say Dummit, but no. I don't. Dummit, yeah, it's not the game for Dummit for me, personally. It's just not the game for Dummit. So I'm going to go with the cells and Fabian Schär. Kieran Trippier, although he won't be wearing if the cells does start, obviously Trippier will not be wearing the captain's armband. Of course he's not, because Lascelles is the club captain. But still, Trippier will be leading that back line, and he will be making orders to the back line to keep their line and do everything. Because Trippier, I know Trippier's only been here since 2021 in the January window, but he knows what it means to the squad, and he knows what it means to play for the badge, and he knows what it means to the fans, to the club, and this is what it means to play for Newcastle United in the Champions League. So I'm very excited for Trippier. Dan Burn left back. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, everyone. Oh dear, Dan Burn. Oh, I mean, you could raise the eyebrows at Mbappe going at Dan Burn, but no, it'll probably be Mbappe against Kieran Trippier, which is I'm not too fussed about, to be fair. I think Kieran Trippier can do well against Mbappe. I know we're asking a lot of Kieran Trippier. He will be beat up a few times. But we're relying on Lascelles and Schär to back Trippier up, because that's what centre backs are there to do. But Dan Burn, he'll most likely be up against Dembele, which is still a really, really good player. He's up against Dembele, very pacey. He's got a brilliant shot on him. I mean, Dembele, he cost a lot of money for a reason, because he's unbelievable. It's a shame he got injured so much at Barcelona, because Dembele is an unbelievable player, and Dan Burn really will have his work cut out for him tomorrow. So Dan Burn's going to have to be concentrated all the time. But Dan Burn, it's going to be an interesting battle. I think if Dan Burn really, really does not fancy it at half time, then you may have to think about bringing Lewis Hall or Livramento on, because Dan Burn, I think he will have to get subbed off at one point. But who knows? Maybe Dan Burn might just have to sit back a little bit. Maybe Tonali, if he starts on the left midfield hand side, he will have to overlap instead, because Dan Burn, he can't be overlapping with Dembele on his back. He can't, because if PSG go on a transition, Dembele is going to cause Dan Burn big problems. He's going to cause him big problems if Dan Burn gets caught out. So Dan Burn, for me, if he is going to start, he might not even start. I mean, he had a really poor game against Burnley, in my opinion. He got a little bit better in as the game went on, but he made a few mistakes. So let's hope Dan Burn is on his game. Because if Dan Burn's on his game, then I think we might not have any worries. But Dan Burn is certainly going to be an interesting battle between Dembele and Dan Burn, that is for sure. Right, Tonali, Bruno and Longstaff. Longstaff is unbelievable. I mean, that game he played against AC Milan. If he performs like that against PSG, we've got no worries at all, to be fair, in the midfield. Because Sean Longstaff, he's really played well in the number 6 role for me, Sean Longstaff. He's played absolutely brilliantly in that role. Bruno is Bruno. He's injury free, and I've got no worries. Bruno starting, of course I haven't, because Bruno is the man. He's the man indeed. And Tonali, well, a lot of people said Tonali isn't pictured in training, so he's not going to play. Yes, I think he will play. Tonali is, well, Eddie Howe said he's fine, so he's fine. Of course he is. A bit weird how he wasn't in training though, Tonali. But Eddie Howe says he's fine, so he's fine, I guess. And I think if Joelinton isn't going to play this game, Anderson needs a bit of a rest, because he's played a lot of games so far, which is what we wanted from Anderson, to get a bit more game time. But Tonali, for me, is the man to come in and play in that role. So I think Tonali will play that role brilliantly. So this is the game for Tonali. Champions League experience. He knows what it means to play in the Champions League. We've got 2 players in that midfield who have played in the Champions League. We've got 2 players who have played in the Champions League. Yeah, I've got a bit of experience in that midfield now, if them 2 do start. But it's good to have that experience in that midfield. Right, the 3 up top. I would rather have Tino over Burn at left back, says Thomas. Okay. Who is your favourite player from both teams? From both teams, well, obviously Mbappe is my favourite player from PSG, because Mbappe is probably the best player in the world right now. I don't think anyone can really contest with Mbappe right now. But who's my best player from Newcastle? I've got to go Gordon for me right now. At the minute, Gordon's probably my favourite player. Gordon's been absolutely unbelievable. Either Gordon or Trippier or Bruno, but I'd have to go Gordon for now. Because Gordon's really turned it up this season, and Gordon has really, really done well. And I can't fault anything from Gordon so far, because Gordon has been unbelievable, and I can't stress that enough how good Gordon's been. So speaking about Gordon, Gordon on the left wing, Harvey Barnes is out, Anderson maybe could play left wing, but for me, if Gordon, bear in mind, Hakimi, Achraf Hakimi, he will be playing at right back of PSG. Probably the fastest fullback, one of the fastest fullbacks in the league, and he's been playing unbelievable so far this season. I really don't want to be starting Anderson against Hakimi. I think the only player in the squad at the minute who really is going to give him a run for his money is Gordon. Gordon, one of the fastest players in the Premier League. He's unbelievable. He's on form. So for me, Gordon isn't going to play against West Ham, bear in mind as well, everyone. Gordon is out for the West Ham game. So it's best off to give Gordon this game time now and then give him a rest for 2 weeks, unless he gets called up for England, who knows. But this is the game for Gordon. And Gordon against Hakimi, it only seems right. And I think Gordon can give him a run for his money. May not beat Hakimi, but Gordon's going to have to be on his game against Hakimi, because Hakimi is an unbelievable player, and he really, really will have to perform against Hakimi, Gordon. But I'm feeling confident in Gordon that he will do a job tomorrow against Hakimi if he does start. I'm very confident in starting Gordon tomorrow in my predicted 11. Miggy on the right, maybe Murphy could start. I mean, if anyone says Murphy might start, I've got no worries with that. I totally respect your opinion. I've just gone Miggy. He's in form, and maybe Miggy might be a bit tired, but Miggy's full of energy, and he's full of confidence, let's be honest, everyone. He's full of confidence, and let's be honest, he will not disappoint, really, will he? He will not disappoint whatsoever. So that's why I've gone Miggy as right back. Alexander Isak up front. No, Wilson probably might not make the game. No, even if Wilson might make the game, he will not be starting this game at all if he's got a bit of a hamstring problem. As I said, better safe than sorry. It's better off not to start Wilson because Isak is there. He's carrying a bit of a knock. He was knackered against Burnley, but then got subbed off to give him a bit of a rest. So that gives you a bit of an idea that Isak probably will start this game. And I think Isak will start this game, and hopefully he gets a goal as well. And that's why I've gone 1-0 to Newcastle United, and the scorer I've gone for Alexander Isak. It may be a penalty, who knows. But this game, we will have to start fast, and we will probably have to get an early goal to really kick us on. Because there's a famous saying for Newcastle United. You lot will know it if you do watch my watch-alongs. When we score first, if we score, then the floodgates open. It does. It happens with Newcastle United. When we score, we do tend to score loads more. Obviously, with Sheffield United, when we scored the first one, we went and scored 8. So it does happen. It does happen. I think if we do get an early goal tomorrow, whether it be a bad deflection, an own goal, doesn't matter what. And imagine if we score first, and that's St James's Park crowd. Oh my God. You just know that that's going to bump the players up even more to go and get another one. PSG, if we score first, no, even if we don't score first, that atmosphere at the start when they're walking out onto the pitch, that atmosphere is going to absolutely demolish PSG right down. They'll feel like this. They'll go right down. They'll feel right small in that stadium tomorrow. I can guarantee it. They'll feel really, really small tomorrow at St James's Park, and I can't wait for it. Newcastle players, they know what it's going to be like. They know what that atmosphere is going to be like tomorrow. Maybe Luis Enrique will bring it up the atmosphere because he probably knows as well. But I think the atmosphere will really take a toll on PSG tomorrow. It might not. It may well do. But I think they will not. I mean, PSG, it's a new ground for them. They've never been here before. They've never played at St James's Park, if I can remember. So it's going to be new for PSG, and they will not know what's going to hit them. They really, really won't. And I'm so excited for it. How much was your chair? I'm not too sure, James. I'm not too sure. I don't know when. I can't remember when we bought it. So I can't really give you an estimate. Is Wilson going to be fit for the weekend? Then because we all know who Newcastle play on the weekends is Thomas. We're playing West Ham away, mate, and Wilson does have a good. I think if Wilson does make the bench I think he might start against West Ham, depending on how Isak is. But if Wilson does make the game and he's on the bench, that's a good indication that he's nearly there. And who knows, he probably might make the West Ham game. Who knows? And Wilson has a very good record against West Ham. So I do want Wilson playing against West Ham because he always gets the goal there. Always. Are you scared against PSG? Says Ashik. Of course I'm scared. Because they've got some big players, Ashik. They've got some big players. Mbappe, Dembele, Muani, who I haven't mentioned yet. I feel a bit bad there for not mentioning Kolo Muani. He's a brilliant striker. I'm very scared of him as well. The centre backs are going to have to be on form. Lascelles. It's weird with Lascelles. He always seems on form when he's playing against all these teams, all these big teams, Man City, maybe even a PSG. He always seems quite focused. But when he's kind of playing against like the Burnleys or the smaller teams, no discredit to Burnley there. Sorry, any Burnley fans if you're watching. Lascelles always seems to turn off against them teams. When he's playing against big teams, he doesn't. He seems to do quite well. So I'm hoping for a big performance tomorrow from Jamal Lascelles, and let's hope we can pull over the line and get a 1-0 win, which is what I'm predicting. Isak to get the goal, and we'll see what happens. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. That is my match preview. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Remember, guys, I have got my live watch along tomorrow, everyone, starting at 7:30. So if you are free at 7:30 and you do want to listen to play-by-play commentary of the Champions League game for Newcastle United versus PSG, come down to Toon TV and you can hear live play-by-play commentary of the game tomorrow, starting at 7:30, giving you match build-up of the both teams starting 11 and all that jazz as well. Please hit that subscribe button, everyone. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. So if you are free, it is free to do so. And if you could just spare a second of your life, just to click that subscribe button, it will mean the world. And don't forget to, you can become a member today by clicking the join button down below. 99p a month to be a member and support the channel just that bit closer. So please become, if you want to become a member, scan the QR code, press the join button. 99p a month to be a member, and it is greatly appreciated. So thank you all so much. Right, there you go, everyone. Please subscribe as well. My socials, my Instagram and Twitter and TikTok are also down below. So if you guys do want to follow them, the link is down below. If you guys do want to follow the Twitter, thank you so much. We've got some predictions coming in right now. 2-1 Newcastle, says Thomas. I take a 2-1. 3-1, says Matthew. Who knows? Who knows what will happen tomorrow, but only time will tell. And make sure you come down to my watch along tomorrow, starting at 7:30. 7:30 BST. The live watch along will start, and I can't wait to see you there. Right, that is all from me, everyone. I'll see you later. Have a great rest of your night, and you know this as usual. Away, the bloody lads! Come on!